everybody. Welcome to Mondays with Morgan. I have Dustin Smith here with me today. You are a worship pastor.
I am.
You're a songwriter.
Yes.
You are a teacher.
Yes.
And you know it all.
No. But 3 out of 4 things, not too bad.
Yeah, so basically you know it all.
Okay.
Okay, so this question is a little heavy, but I think you're the best person to answer this question.
Best person in the room
No,
to answer it, maybe.
I don't know.
All right, we'll find out.
So,
I don't even know what the question is. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah. So there's a lot of terrorism going on.
Yes.
And a lot of people are in fear.
Yeah.
How do you approach the situation?
Yeah.
How do you approach the fear, the terrorism, how people are so frightened by everything?
Yeah. I think we make it a heavier thing. Like you said, it's a heavy question. And it can be because I understand the pressure people are under, the things people are under. But you have to remember, like, Paul's sitting in prison and he says, I count it all joy. He didn't say I counted all joy when he was sitting on a beach writing a book. You know, he's sitting in prison and he said, I counted all joy because at that moment when you meet God of the universe like Paul did, and Paul has such a powerful experience with God that he basically says, like, what are you going to do to me? Like, put me in his presence faster? And he'd even say, like, this temporary pain is only going to lead me into his presence faster.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, like, what do you really fear? And people say, well, I'm afraid I'm going to die. Well, 1 in 1 people die. Like, it's just a good statistic. You know, like, statistic. The hard thing is when and how. You know, it's like, that's what we're afraid of, is when am I going to die and how am I going to die? But the thing for me is, like, you know, it's appointed to man to die. So this isn't about dying. This is about living. And the thing is like, I want people to live. Fear wants you to die ahead of time. Yeah. And so what it does is it shuts you down. That's why I get so upset that young girls deal with depression. Because I want to know, where is the dad that takes her, wraps in his arms and says, no, like, you're better than this. You're good. You've got good in you. And pull that out of them. But someplace, because the word depression means a lowering of value. So somewhere, somebody got a voice into her that says, you're not worth it. And I say, you are worth it, you know? And so when terrorism, you know, we talk about terrorism, it just, it's not strong, it's not great, it's just loud. Yeah. And so it dominates airwaves. That's why they do anything they can to get on the news. Because they know if they get on the news, they get in the airwaves. And even the Bible says faith comes by hearing. But for a believer, faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. And so I'm just gonna be honest, like, this is me, and some people say, that's religious or whatever. But for me, it was just real. God started telling me to narrow my life. And so I was like, what do you want? Like, I'm willing to die to anything. What do you want? Yeah. And he said, stop looking at the news. And I was like, how am I going to be a minister of the gospel and not know what's going on? Yeah. And he said, people will tell you. And I was like, yeah, but people are people. They read into it. And he said, what do you think the news is? Exactly. It's people reading into it. Yeah. I mean, have you ever heard somebody from ISIS directly tell you anything? No. You've heard what somebody else told you about it. So, you know, we wrote a song called We Are Warriors, and it says, fear screams loud in the world today, death, destruction, lies, and hate, but terror only works if you're afraid. And for me, like, I refuse to let terror dictate my life. The entire book of Revelation, you talk about it as an end times book, but for me, it's a book about worship. Yeah. And it says, what are you going to bow to? And he says, there are going to be a lot of things that happen on the earth, but lift up your eyes, I've already overcome. And then you start looking at scripture, and it says, greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. People are like, they love that scripture, like, oh, but he says there's going to be trials and there's going to be things in this world. And I was like, yeah, but it says, but fear not, for I have overcome the world. You know, so finish it out. Finish the strength part of it. Yeah. And realize, like, the same spirit that raised Christ from the dead lives in you. That's huge. Yeah. That's big. And to me, I think you got to live off of that. You cannot let fear kill you ahead of time. Yeah. Live until you die. But don't even be afraid of death, because death is but a blink. you will walk right from this into the next. And to me, like the same relationship I have with him here, I'm gonna walk right into that relationship with him there. And this is who I am. I'm one who loves God and who he is. And I don't see Paul sitting around going, oh, what are you gonna do to me? And you're like, how can he be so bold? He's so bold because he had a real experience. And to me, why are you so afraid of something you've never experienced?
Yeah.
You've probably never experienced ISIS, yet you're so afraid of terror. And then you say you've experienced the presence of God, but you don't feel strength.
Yeah.
And people are like, well, I don't want to lift my hands in worship unless I feel it. And I was like, well, that's funny because, you tell me you have depression, but you don't feel it right now, but you say you have it. And so in those things, it's like, I know who God is, and I'm going to walk in who God is. And that confidence doesn't make me greater. It makes him greater. And I'll end with this. I know I'm preaching now, but it is a big question. My daughter, when she was really little, would come into my room, and she'd always come to my side because my wife would make her go back to her bed. And she'd say, Daddy, she'd wake me up, can I get in bed with you? And I was like, yeah, just don't wake up your mom. And so she'd get in bed with me, and I was like, what's wrong? And she's like, I'm afraid of the dark. And I was like, okay. And then she'd close her eyes and go to sleep, and then I'd go, oh, it's dark in here too. It's darker in here because my wife made me get rid of my nightlight, And then I realized, why did she go to sleep so fast in here when it's darker in here than it is in her room? The reason is because she's not afraid of the dark.
Yeah.
She just doesn't want to be alone.
Yeah.
And when you realize you're not alone, then you're not afraid of the dark. And in this, I know I'm not alone. So people go, oh, it's just your personality, or oh, it's just talk, and no, it's confidence.
Yeah.
And it's not confidence in my greatness. My daughter didn't become greater all of a sudden and stronger all of a sudden. She was just attached to someone who was, and she trusts me more than she trusts dark.
Yeah.
And so in that moment, I would just tell people trust him more than they trust dark.
I don't want to make this too long, but I remember a really long time ago, I was in youth group, and we were sitting out on the beach, and I stood up and I said, the one thing I've learned about this trip is that I'm not afraid to die anymore. That was one thing. I was like, I know that God's greater, and I'm going to see him one day. And so this is going to carry through. And so that's so, I don't know, it just kind of made me remember
huge.
that.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wish people would realize that because, okay, we're afraid, and sometimes I can get afraid, but why are we afraid when we have so much, a greater thing to look forward to?
Yeah. Yep. And that's the thing with, if you're not afraid of death, you're pretty much unstoppable on the earth.
Yeah.
And you have the ability to walk into places and speak who God is because even if something changes today, even if something happens today, I know what's about to happen to me. And I'm going to continue to walk this out. Because for me, people say, I want to live with God. I want to worship him for eternity. Eternity starts right now.
Yeah.
Right now. Just now. I always say that. My favorite, forever just started again. And so when I wake up in the morning, forever just started again. Yeah. And I'm going to worship him forever. A second ago is the past. Forever just started again. Just now. Not just this.
Can you wrap your mind around that?
Yeah,
because
it just started again.
Wait, it just happened again.
Just now.
Oh.
Guess when? Just
right now.
Nope, just now.
Oh.
But the fun thing is no matter what your past is, no matter what you've been afraid of before, you can stand firm forever.
Yeah.
Because it starts right now.
Starts right now.
Boom.
You hear that?
Now.
I told you were the best person for this question.
Well, I don't know if I was the best, but I came up with something.
No, you're the best. So, to end this video on a higher note.
Yep.
Maybe literal.
Yeah.
Can you come up with a Mondays with Morgan jingle?
I tried last time.
Don't copy Michael Farron. You said he wasn't sweet, so don't be like him.
It's Mondays with Morgan. It's Mondays with Morgan. That's Southern.
There you have it.
Just drink a sweet tea and go with that.
A gallon.
Gold.
Of sweet tea.
Black oil.
Hope you guys enjoyed this video.
Poor boy. Bye.
You can email us at hello@weareworshipusa.com and tell us your questions. Do you have questions like this? Is there something you're afraid of? You haven't, just let us know what's going on. Yeah. I think that's it.
I like it. You guys
all right.
Bye.
Yeah. So how we close out every video. We'll see you next Monday. Bye.
It's Mondays with Morgan. It's Mondays with Morgan.